18 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment.
Hey guys, welcome to This and That Gay Chat with Cody here on Wednesdays. I would like to start off making a shout out to my buddy Skylar. Today's his birthday. Unfortunately, he's not here with us to celebrate it, but rock on, dude. You almost made it to 18. So, yeah. For those of you who are watching this, if you have any friends that are suicidal, if you're suicidal, please, I'm begging you, 1-800-4U-TREVOR or something like that. And please just call a hotline because it's not worth it. So on a more happy note, I am, obviously doing a video. So, let's see. Come into terms with who you are. Got my little list ready so I can actively and not whatever. I can fluently articulate my story. So let's see. When I was little, I lived in Santa Barbara, California, which is probably about an hour and a half north of where I am now. And I remember I was like 2 years old and I went and my dad was cleaning and I was like, I'm gonna pee like daddy, and I stood over the toilet and made a mess everywhere. That's as early back as I can remember. But, as I grew up, I was always thinking, dad's parts grew, why couldn't mine, or when will mine, or something like that. And I was always a tomboy. Hot Wheels, monster trucks, sandbox toys, all of it was just, that's who I was. I used to get Hot Wheels and art stuff, that's all I got for Christmas, and I was okay with that. So I was in male. I grew up as a tomboy, and I dressed as masculine as a female, as masculine as a girl's section would let me. So I was always the longest shorts I could find that didn't have shit on it, solid colored t-shirts, all that jazz, because, God forbid my mom took me where I wanted to go and let me buy my own clothes. And then there was another instance when I was in about 4th grade. I was always like, I don't feel right. And my roommate Jake was talking about his friend Brittany and how she always goes shirtless when she goes swimming. And I was like, I want that, but I could never have it. And then junior high is when things got awkward, because that's when your hormones are settling in. And, you're feeling things that you don't normally feel. I'm trying to get the light out of my eyes. So you feel things you don't normally feel. And I was in the changing room, and I found myself looking at other people. And I was like, I feel so uncomfortable right now. I just wish I could jump off of the PE building and just, watch people clean up my brain matter. It was so bad. I had so much depression. And I was the only girl to go out for the flag football team for the Turkey Bowl or whatever for Thanksgiving. And they called me the Terminator, and I was like, that's a pretty cool name. Ironically, my nickname for a couple friends is now the Codinator, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I got to go into the guys' locker room, and I was just like, it feels so right in here. But, of course, I could never tell anyone. So, yeah, I grew up thinking, I'm supposed to marry a rich man and, I'm supposed to have 3 or more kids and be a housewife and all this shit. And I was just like, no. Like, I want to be the rich man. I want to provide for my family. I want, you know, my kids to have my DNA and, you know, all this other shit. So I was really uncomfortable. And why did this... Okay, sorry. My computer went black. So I was always like, why do I feel like this? I never understood, and everyone was always like, oh, you know, you should just get a sex change already. And I used to be offended by that. I used to not go into public restrooms because of all of the awkward encounters. There was one time when I was with my friends and I went to the mall and everyone had to go to the bathroom and I was with a bunch of girls and I was like, well, you know, legally I'm supposed to be in this bathroom. So I went in and there were like couches in a little waiting room. It's kind of weird. And mall security came in and tried to escort me out. And that's when I knew something had to change. So I was talking to a friend who put me in contact, I guess, with this website called Connection, which doesn't exist anymore. And it was like a 18 and older thing. So, of course, my dumbass decides to change my age, and I got sent to Trevor Space. And I was all like, what the hell, like, they deleted my account, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized it was 18 and older, and I was like, oh. So, I met this trans guy on there. His name's Brandon. He's actually my best friend. And I was watching his videos, and I messaged him, and I was like, I'm really upset right now. I watched all your videos, and you want everything that I can't have. And I started talking to him, and I realized that I could have it. You know, there's a community called transgender, and, you know, I did, like, 6 months of research, until I was like, okay, this is what I want. And then shortly before my birthday, I changed my name. In the beginning, I used Alex because it was a gender neutral name, and I was like, I don't want that. Like, I'm a guy. I need a masculine name. So I chose Cody, and the day after that, because I chose Cody like 10:30 at night or something like that. It was crazy. So the next day I worked on my middle name and my last name, which I chose Thomas because the singer slash guitarist for my favorite underground band, his middle name is Thomas, and he's a really cool guy. And then I chose Bellamy because it means good friend, and that's what I want to be for people. So yeah, so that's that. I met my friend Tyler right before he started transitioning, and he started a YouTube channel and all this shit. And this kind of goes into the whole process of coming out thing. I'll get to that in a second. So, I met Tyler, and when I met Tyler, that's when he, like, helped me claim my confidence in myself, because he was, like, actually physically there. So that was pretty cool. So Tyler always told me, like, I don't see how you could be trans, like, I only see you having a dick, and that made me feel really good. And then that monthly bill that, you know, trans guys would never want to get, it stopped being a curse and actually started being a countdown to how many months do I have left until I can start hormones. And I think that that's a really positive way for trans guys to look at that if they're uncomfortable. It's like, oh, I have to deal with this for a week, but that's 1 month closer than I was to starting T. So going to coming out, I came out to Brandon probably around September of 2012. 2011. I came out to him. And So that happened, and I kind of like, I went through my first semester of my senior year just kind of like cruising, going with the flow, because I wasn't really sure, and I didn't want to tell anyone until I was sure. So I waited it out, and then I claimed my name in November, and then spring of 2012, my senior year spring semester, the very first day, I was just paranoid. I did not want to be at school because I was so sure that I was trans, and I felt like I wouldn't be able to make it successfully through the semester if I kept on going by my birth name. So the day that my teachers called roll, they like butchered my name, and it sounded even more feminine than it really is. And I went through the day, and I believe it was the instant I got out of school and I got home, I got on the computer, I emailed every single one of my teachers. I was like, this is what's up. I'm trans, I go by Cody, not a lot of people know yet, so can you call me Codes instead? And it just kind of became a growing trend. And then I started coming out to my friends, because one of my friends, Destry, was all like, I think I'm trans. I was like, dude, I am too, so we could work together. And then, so I started coming out to a couple friends, and then I came out at the GSA meeting. I was talking about transgender in the military, and the GSA coordinator asked me for my name, and I told her my name's Cody, and it just kind of like blew up from there, and it was so awesome. I was on top of the world, and I came out to everyone after that because I felt so confident. I made a YouTube video called I'm not gay, I'm straight. It's like 8 minutes long. It just has pictures that show me from like when I was little to like probably shortly after I got my first haircut. Or no, it went into my junior year, that's what it did. So I posted that, and I started coming out to my family. I came out to my mom, and it didn't really go as well as I was hoping it would. But at the same time, as a member of the LGBT community, it's common for you to just kind of be like, they're gonna kick me out of the house, I'm gonna get disowned, they're never gonna accept me, blah blah blah. I've heard it all. I've felt it all, I've dealt with it all. And it was kind of one of those things where my family that saw the video they were just non-responsive. They didn't say anything about it. They don't honor it, they don't nothing. And it sucks and I hate it. But once I transition, they're gonna have to. So I made the YouTube video, and then like a week later, GSA decided to do a video about like promoting the GSA, and I was in there, and I came out to the entire school through that. So by that time I was fully out. I started working at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I say a lot, sorry. So I started working at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I obviously have to put my legal information on there. And I was at the job fair, so I didn't really want to like come out to everyone because there was a lead and 2 supervisors in there, and like one of the supervisors was like clearly she was she was a lesbian. So I was like, they're totally gonna be cool with it, but this is just the process so I can get an interview. Little did I know that was my interview. So I went back to finish my paperwork and stuff like that, and I had to do paper processing, and they lost my papers. So right before I went and got hired, I had to redo everything. And I was all like, hey, this is my situation. I go by Cody, can I get that on my name tag? And they're like, yeah, sure. So that was that. Work was work. It was kind of awkward at first, but people started catching on eventually. So right now, I have a little bit of like, people are either really for it or really against it. There's no in the middle. So it's just kind of, this video is getting really long, so I'm trying to sum this up. I get comments like, Why can't you just be a girl that dresses like a boy like you have your entire life? Why don't you just get a sex change already? You know, just stupid crap like that just bothers me. But that's how it's going. For the people that don't accept, for the people that do accept, it's going very well, and I'm very proud of that. So many people support me, and it's so fantastic. It's definitely worth it. It takes a long time for you to be confident and for it to help, but it's worth it. And so with that, that's my story. It's 15 minutes long now, so I'm gonna go. Bye guys, smile, someone's thinking about you.
And it's been a while, but I still feel the same. Maybe I should